Hey, hello, what's up, you guys? Yes, it's me again. I came back to my YouTube video, and today I want to talk about something that I've been thinking. I've been thinking for a long time, and then it is about. I'm gonna talk about Japanese accent. Japanese accent of English, and then especially I want to talk about today is that the future of English. I mean, Japanese accent of English, right? So, let me start with the talking about Indian people. In India, well, actually, I think that in the some region of India, English is official language. In those area in India, and then because that even though it's English is one of the official language of India, but we cannot say that they are native speaker of English language. Instead, they even though it's again it's one of the official language of their country, but still they are not native speak of English language. But still, a lot of people from around the world think that a lot of Indian people can communicate in English, and then they recognize their accent, right? Indian accent of English, and then even though it is not one of the accent of native English accent, but still a lot of people around the world recognize that English, I mean Indian accents, almost like one of that English accent, right? And then another example is I wanna talk about would be that Filipino people. And then before in my life I had never had many occasions talking to Filipino people, but last 10 months or so, I've been talking to so many, Filipino people, and I noticed that they speak, most of the people speak, English very well, but they have their own accent. And then, I actually talked to about it, with several people from different countries, and they all agree that they speak, with their accent. I think that's due to their native language. And then it was as I noticed, as I thought, a lot of people, those people I talked to, they all agree that they have their own accent, Filipino accent. But a lot of people think that those people also think that most of the they got a feeling that most of the Filipino people can communicate in English, right? So what about the Japanese? I mean, Japanese people has this accent, but a lot of people in the world, I don't think that they treat Japanese accent as same as like Indian accent or Filipino accent. It's totally different, right? The thing, the biggest problem, most Japanese people would have would be the pronunciation, instead of accent. The reason for that is because that English and Japanese is a totally different language, and then English has so many sound that the Japanese language doesn't have. So when it comes to pronunciation, most of the time, when that Japanese people trying to say something, they are just simply not understood. So what I think is that if that most more and more Japanese people when first try to learn English, if they just concentrated on that pronunciation, make the pronunciation, learn the pronunciation, enough to be understood, and then move on to trying to construct that English sentence, or trying to express and practice expressing themselves, by using the very simple English, I would say that trying to practice, make the most of that very simple English, and then more and more people start to communicate, start be able to communicate in English, using these simple English sentences or simple English, I think that Japanese accent of English can be recognized as like a Indian accent or Philippine accent of English. So maybe this is very stupid idea, but the reason I'm thinking is that because that a couple of videos ago I talked about the guy in that YouTube video who has this Japanese accent, but a very cool Japanese accent. He was very fluent in English, right? And then in that same video I also talked about the guy I knew who is Japanese, but he lives in the States for a long time, and he had this also. He is fluent in English, but he has this very cool Japanese accent. So if we could do that, if we instead of trying to keep on learning the difficult word or one after another, if you just concentrate on trying how to communicate first, and then more and more people start speaking, I think it is possible. I think that Japanese accent could be recognized as that other accent, and then same situation with that in Indian accent or Filipino accent or any other countries in the same kind of situation. I think it is possible, and then I don't know. It's maybe that some people might make fun of this idea, but I think it's possible. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about today. Because yeah, I've been thinking about this, and then maybe if a lot of people think that way, maybe something might happen. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube video again, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.